Hey everyone! I am just going to do a quick video for a lesson in Google Classroom called Animal Structures for Their Environment. And the reason why we're moving from genetics into animal structures is because genetics determines what kind of structures or physical characteristics that animals have. And then those structures that they have help them survive better in their environment. So certain animal structures help animals do better in different environments. So today we're going to kind of start that transition from genetics and how we get the physical characteristics that we do to what physical characteristics animals have and how that helps them survive better in their environment. So today we're going to talk about some environments and what animals do well in those environments. And then you're going to do a little Nearpod assignment where you read through the environments and the different climates, and then you try to match animals to the climate. And then there's a link at the end where you can research some other animals and see what kind of animal structures and features they have and what climates you think they would do well in. So I'm going to show you a little slideshow that I have. Here we go. And we're going to go over some of the climates really quickly. So one of the climates that you'll want to know about is wetlands. And wetlands they're located pretty much anywhere in the world except for Antarctica or the Arctic. They can have kind of a wide variety of temperatures and amounts of rain, but the types of animals that do well in these wetlands are freshwater plants that have these really deep roots that go down, or plants that will float kind of on the top. And also some of the animals that do well here are frogs and toads, salamanders, birds, ducks, and let's see if there's any that I missed. Yeah, a lot of migratory birds actually. So in our next slide, I guess I should tell you that. Here we go. We've got our migratory birds, ducks, these water plants that have these deep roots, and frogs and toads, any type of amphibian. Okay, tundra is our next climate. A tundra is very cold and dry. So there's a lot of snow. There's not a lot, it's actually cold, but there's not a lot of snow. So it's kind of like a cold desert. The tundra is located in the north and southern hemispheres. So, or actually the poles. So like the Arctic and the Antarctic. And then let's see what some of the plants and animals are. You've got things like polar bears and Arctic hares that have these white coats. They have a lot of fur. They have blubber or really thick skin to keep them warm. And then you've got these plants that are either called moss or lichen, or these really small bushes because it's very windy there. So big trees don't grow there, but just these really small shrubs do. So those are some of the things that live in these really cold climates. Animals need to be able to hibernate during the winter or move south during the winter. They migrate. And those are some of the characteristics that they need to live there. Tropical rainforests. Tropical rainforests are warm, they're wet, and they're humid. So animals need adaptations that they can deal with being very warm, wet, and humid. There's lots and lots of trees, very, very tall trees, and lots of vines. Some of the plants and animals here, we've got our tall trees, vines, we've got birds. We need animals that can climb into the trees, animals that aren't going to don't have a lot of fur or blubber, kind of the opposite of the Arctic, of the tundra, so that they can deal with the heat and the humidity. Animals that can climb trees, like I said. And what else was there? Oh, lots of insects, butterflies, mosquitoes, birds, frogs. Those all do well in the tropical rainforest. Now our savannas. Savannas are usually found in Africa, Australia, some in South America. They're generally pretty warm. They have wet summers, but dry winters, and they have kind of these shrubs with these random tall trees in there. Here's some of the animals that do well in the savanna. We got our zebras that eat a lot of the grasses that are in the savanna, lions and tigers, and then buffalo. Most of the animals are herbivores because there's so much grass there. And then during the dry season, they have to be able to find water too. So they have to migrate to some of the watering holes or be able to get there. And a lot of the plants are grasses and scattered trees because they do well with the really rainy season and then dry season. Temperate forests. These are like your mountain forests. Temperate forests are also found all over the world. A lot of times these forests are going to change their leaf colors and lose their leaves in the winter. So they're called a leaf shedding forest. Animals must be able to adapt to season changes. They must be able to do okay with cold winters and hot summers. A lot of them hibernate during the winter. So you're going to find things like deer, squirrels that will hibernate or dig holes, and rabbits and owls. Here's some of the trees that you would find. You could also find bear. Let's see what's next. Last one is the desert. So our desert is obviously hot and dry. There's not a lot of water, which means we need animals that can deal with that. So cactus have adaptations where they can save up their water. Rattlesnakes or other kinds of snakes do well in the hot, dry desert. Some animals will build their nests inside a cactus to be able to get to the water and the shelter in there. You also have things like coyotes or hawks that can live in a desert. And in like the Sahara Desert, you're going to have camels. They have the ability to store water and food in their humps and go several days. So these are the climates that I want you to find, and now I want you to go, or that I want you to know about, and now I want you to go to that Nearpod lesson, go through them again, match up the animals with the climates, and then I want you to research on National Geographic Kids some of the animals and some of the adaptations that they have that help them live in their environment. See you later, guys.